So it's been a little while since I've given a COVID update. Here in Sunderland, we are back in lockdown as of Friday. It's now Sunday morning. Um, I don't think anything's immediately going to change. For example, shops are still open as usual. They might close an hour earlier, but it's not total lockdown. I remember early, uh, excuse me, I just had a hiccup there. I remember early in the pandemic, like March, April. It was almost like a ghost town. It was a very strange atmosphere, not a good atmosphere, where so many places were closed with one or two exceptions. It was very strange. So I don't think it's going to be like that. But rules have been brought in again. For example, you cannot socialize outside your own home. So I usually have a friend who comes over here. We'll watch films. We've had to cancel that, which is frustrating. For me personally, the changes aren't going to be profound apart from that. Um, I've got space. I can still go and buy food and stuff. Um, Sunderland is not the only city to reintroduce this. Birmingham has brought it in, Bolton, and a few other places. I think the Prime Minister wants to stop short of a full national lockdown, but um, I think we are basically seeing the second phase now. And apparently, there was some clashes today between people who were saying it's all a hoax and like they're against any new lockdown measures. This is a very difficult one because in a country like the United Kingdom, the sort of measures that are in place, we're still not used to them. They would, in normal circumstances, be seen as a big infringement of civil liberties, but these are exceptional circumstances. I think the coronavirus pandemic has been the most influential event of my lifetime, and I think that in terms of how many people it's affected around the world, and in terms of, I don't just mean infected, I mean affected. Um, it's a cycle because the more people are reckless, the more chances there are of these things being reintroduced. As for those people that come out with conspiracy theories like it's all fake, in Indonesia, I've heard that they're actually getting people who don't wear masks, they're making them dig the graves of those who die. Now, that may be a bit excessive if there's people who have allergies and so on. If it's people who are just being stubborn and selfish, maybe it's a shock policy, but maybe it's justified. If these people are in denial about a deadly pandemic that's killing others, maybe they should see firsthand what it's doing. Um, these people that say it's all some big government plot to keep us under control, politically, it's not good for the government because they don't want to, an economic stagnation is not good politically for the government. So my question would be if it's kind of some sort of conspiracy to give the government more power, what exactly do they gain from it? That's the obvious question. Um, some might say that they're in cahoots with mask makers. I think we need to be a bit, you know, regardless of how effective masks are or not. I think people really need to use common sense and not just get into these conspiracy theories that really have no basis in fact or minimal evidence to support those claims. But we're now getting into it's mid-September. We'll soon be getting into autumn, then winter. That's the usual flu season in the UK. So I don't know if that's going to exacerbate coronavirus or not, or maybe it would weaken it. I don't know. I really don't know. But we can't be complacent. I'm sick of coronavirus. I think everyone is. But the longer, unfortunately, these lockdown measures are going to have to keep being brought in so long as people um, flout the rules by having parties and so on. It's a cycle. And the sooner people realize that, when the rates come down, then the restrictions will be lifted. I don't like it, but I understand it. Wearing a mask doesn't mean I'm brainwashed by the government. It doesn't mean that um, I'm a tool or something like that. I just think that a lot of these things are just common sense measures. But people need to understand that we are going to keep being in this situation if they keep being reckless. And I do think there's going to be growing hostility amongst the public between those who follow the rules and those who don't. But by the same time, we shouldn't be judgmental. I mean, just because someone's not wearing a mask doesn't necessarily mean they're being reckless. It might be that they have an allergy. It might be that they have legitimate reasons not to wear it. But anyway, that's the situation. I might make more updates as time goes on, but Sunderland is back in lockdown.